Hey guys, so I'm sorry I'm not here today. As I told you guys, or I told most of my English 2 classes that I would be out because I'm out planning. So I'm actually on campus. You might see me around, but I'm not in class. But anyways, this is your warm-up for today. If you haven't already done it, please work on it. It is also on the board. So if you don't get it right now, it's on the board. Just make sure you answer it in complete sentences and at least a paragraph, 5 to 7 sentences. Don't worry about getting stamped today. I will stamp when I come back tomorrow. But your assignment for today, as soon as you finish this, I want you to go grab a book. Okay, and today we are starting to read our literature. So we are starting to read about Maya Angelou. This is her. She had a very interesting life. She had all sorts of different jobs, and you're actually going to read about one of her jobs today in a short part of her autobiography. So, and then I believe I mentioned this to one class, but she was a jack of all trades. One of her jobs was actually she had to support herself, so one of her jobs was actually being an entertainer, and I mean an adult entertainer to the point where she was a prostitute. So she learned a lot. She's a woman of a lot of different experiences, and you can see that in her writing. Her writing to this day is one of the best writing that you could find in English literature ever. Really pay attention to what she talks about. Really pay attention to her style and the way that she writes. It's really, really awesome. But go ahead and open your book to page 79, Occupation Conductorette. So in this story, like I said, it's part of her autobiography, so this is about her. It is about a young woman who will experience a conflict. So pay attention to what that conflict is and how does she persevere. How does she come out better in the end? Okay? Alright, so the story starts on page 79, but actually I'm going to read to you guys from page 77, that page that says Meet Maya Angelou. So go ahead and flip your pages to there. And again, this is a picture of her. So she was born Marguerite Johnson in St. Louis, Missouri. She wrote I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, which is a work from which this selection comes, and it is the first part of her autobiography. Some of the communities in which she grew up were segregated, and you guys remember we talked about segregation. So that means that African Americans were excluded from facilities, including schools that were only used by whites. Yet, Angelou rejects bitterness, saying that the honorary duty of a human being is to love. She has had diverse experiences in life. She worked with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In the civil rights movement, and afterwards she actually moved to Africa, where she lived from 1961 to 1966. Her literary success came in the 1970s, so she was a little older. And then right to the side there, the background for her autobiography. This was written about her time in the 1940s. In that time, Maya Angelou recalls millions of American men went overseas to fight in World War II. Their absence created new opportunities at home. 6 million women went to work in industry to aid the war effort, taking jobs newly open to them. Although African Americans still faced prejudice, some found or made new opportunities for themselves. So again, a lot of these jobs were not meant to be for women, much less were they meant to be for women of color, for black women. So a lot of people, especially people like Maya Angelou, had to go out there and literally do whatever it is that they needed to do in order to have money to bring, food home to the table, to have a place to live, etc., etc. Nothing was ever handed to them. Okay? So, like I said, go ahead and as you're reading, figure out her perspective. How she feels, her attitudes, her experiences. Okay, so some questions to keep in mind is how did she feel at the time? How does she feel now? So at the end, do her feelings change? And why do you think they do or don't? Okay, and that's really going to help you in answering the questions that come at the end. So go ahead and pause this video now so that you can flip the page 79, and read all the way to page 84. So it's a really short story. Again, if there are some things that you don't understand, please Google them. You have resources at your hands. But go ahead and pause this video, read it, and then when you're done, come back here so that you can do your assignment. There is an assignment at the end. So pause this video. Alright, so I'm assuming you have already read this story. So I hope you guys were able to figure out, again, how did she feel at the time? How does she feel now, right? Based on her experiences in the job force. Did her feelings change, and why do you think that was? Alright, so here's your assignment for today. You're going to complete a soapstone activity. So in your notebooks, in page 52, at the top, I want you to title it Operation Conductorette Soapstone. And you're going to answer the following questions in 2 or more sentences. Okay, and you can work in a group if you want, and please include page numbers of where you found these answers. So number 1, who is the speaker? So who is the author, and what are they trying to say? So please answer that in 2 or more sentences. Number 2, what's the occasion? So what is the setting of the story? Remember, I talked about that in the background on page 77. Number 3, who is the intended audience? Who do you think she's writing this to? Who would benefit the most from this? Okay. Number 4, what is the purpose or reason of the story? What is she trying to tell us? And why do you think she's trying, or she took the time to write about her life? Why is she writing about this? Number 5, what is the subject? And number 6, what is the tone of the story? What is the author's attitude? Does she sound angry? Does she sound happy? Does she sound hopeful? Does she sound like she's trying to teach us a lesson? Okay, what is her attitude? What is she trying to get across? Okay, so you have these 6 questions. Like I said, I am looking for 2 or more sentences for each one and a page number. So right at the end of your answer, please write a page number of where you found that answer. And that's it for today. This is due today. There will be no time to work on this in class after today. So if you don't finish, this goes home with you. I am checking your assignments Friday after school, so please make sure you are leaving them, and please make sure you are being productive today. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Keep being awesome. And again, don't forget to finish your assignment. Work in groups if you need to, but please finish your assignment. Alright, bye guys. I'll see you guys soon.